Hey guys, Retire on Dividends here. What the hell is going on? I'm making a commute video, but this time I'm commuting home. Thank God. So I made a commute video this morning to talk about YouTube, and I don't even know. I ended up just not posting it. Again, I just ranted on and off, and I was like, I don't even know what the hell I said, so I'll just delete it. So I figured I'll try one more time. I wanted to share, the past, the present, and the future of my YouTube channel, and what I think about it and everything. So for those of you that don't know, I started my YouTube channel about 5 years ago under the name of The Broke Investor, and the idea behind the channel was the same. It was to talk about dividend investing and kind of do basic financial education, right? I got the motivation, to be honest, from Financial Jeremy, because I used to watch his older videos when he had the whiteboard and everything, and he talked basic, he talked like normal language, like nothing complex, stuff I could understand, and I always enjoyed his channel. I don't really watch it anymore because I guess he got too big, and sometimes when people get too big, it's not. I think you just talk about stocks picks now. I'm sure it's still a good channel, but I just, I personally like watching smaller channels because I notice the smaller channels, the people are real. They're more likely to be honest and truthful, rather than, you put on a video and the first thing they're selling or saying is that they're selling something, right? They're saying, oh, this video is brought to you by Moo, or this video is brought to you by Seeking Alpha. Click on my link for Seeking Alpha. If you notice, guys, I don't have any of that. And yes, I do get tons of emails about it. But I'm not going to do, I'll never say never, of course, but I'm in no rush to do affiliate links, partnerships, or any of that, because I'm not going to sell out for something I don't believe in. I'll do it when the time is right, when it's something I actually, am truthful about. I can't sit here and lie and be like, oh yeah, use this platform, and I don't even know what the hell it is. Or maybe I just started using it because they decided to, have a partnership with me, and I think that's unfair to the community, to be honest. And the reason is I'm just not a hypocrite. I don't lie. Everything I say, is the truth. I'm not a good liar anyway. I don't have any reason to lie. So that's the whole reason you don't hear any of those spiels on my channel. But like I said, never say never. Maybe someone awesome will come along and offer something, but again, I'm not going to cater to them. That's never the plan. But I don't know. I'm still new to YouTube. I don't know what other opportunities could be out there. But anyway, the point was I started the channel, and I was having fun. I started off, again, the name was called The Broke Investor, and the idea behind that was I wanted other people who were just as broke as me to get into investing. And what better way to get into investing than listening to someone else who's also broke? It turns out that people don't really want to listen to someone called The Broke Investor. So after many years, I decided to change my name to, Retire on Dividends. So, and it worked out, worked out pretty well so far. And, the name, it's basically my goal. My goal is to retire on dividends. So I figured, obviously, why not change it to that exact name? That is the goal, that is my plan, and that is it. Everything I do, making money, investing, it all will end up to me retiring on dividends. That is the goal. That is the end result. So anyway, once I changed the channel name to that, then, plus started covering YieldMax, high yield funds in general, things started to turn around, and, I did better, right? I've had much more success on YouTube, which I wasn't used to for the first 4 years. The first 4 years, I was making content and having like 50 views at most, and no new subscribers. And I remember getting like individual notifications of new subscribers and being so happy about it. Now I get tons, and it's awesome. But yeah, so again, the beginning of my journey was a pure struggle. The first 4 years were a pure struggle. Granted, I had no consistent schedule, and it was just, I was kind of all over the place. But again, when you don't have like the views coming in, the subs coming in right away, you don't even know like what you should do, where you fit in. But obviously, once I kind of changed my idea of investing, once these high yielders came out, and I started covering them right when I learned about it. So I pretty much made videos and learned, the same time I talked to you guys about it. And it turned out, it ended up being the right thing. In the beginning, when I was covering these funds, I've made a lot of mistakes, and the commenters will correct you, which is good. I always appreciate that. Of course, some may say it in a negative fashion when they don't have to, but either way, if they correct something, I still do appreciate it. But yeah, so once the subs started picking up and everything, everything went well. But when a YouTube channel becomes more popular, what can happen with that is some negativity. Like people could make fun of you because you're investing in YieldMax, or just they make fun of you to get clickbait, or so I shouldn't be surprised with that. So especially when YieldMax came out, people in general, and they're still out there, but everyone wants to call them like yield traps and all that, saying like, look at Tesla and say, oh, it's the worst investment. Who would invest in this? What a waste of time. Whatever. So that's normal, and a lot of it is clickbait, because a lot of people that do say that don't understand the funds. And then there's just YouTubers that want to just bash everyone, just to bash everyone just because. But again, it is what it is. If I'm willing to put myself out there on YouTube in order to make a profit via the monetization method, then I have to be willing to accept, the negativity that can come my way. And I'm perfectly fine with it. People can record my videos, make fun of me all they want, In fact, it probably benefits me that they do that, right? Because it's free advertisement of my channel, even though it's negative most of the time. There's positive feedback too, but either positive or negative, that's good for the channel. So again, it doesn't bother me. Like, it is what it is. If people decide that they're going to make content just bashing other YouTubers, then that's their choice, right? If they have success with it, good for them. Again, I don't plan on doing that. I never want to do that. My only plan is to, simply cover funds that I enjoy talking about, and, talk about different things that I can hopefully teach maybe newcomers, like things, talking about options, talking about, explaining how the high yield funds work, and talking about 401ks, Roth IRAs, things like that. Anything, stuff like that. But yeah, so currently my channel, I got into really like a schedule, and it's been working out. I do daily videos that, it's the only time I can make them, to be honest, is the crack of dawn. I'm sure you guys see, for those of you that watch my daily videos, they're either done between 4 or 5 a.m. And the reason is because, obviously I have, I work a full-time job and I have children. So when I go to work, I have to get up even earlier because I have to get the videos done before I leave for work. So I have to get up at 3 a.m. on those days in order to record the video for 4 a.m. because I have to leave my house at 5 a.m. and I leave my house at 5 a.m. because I need to get to work, to get to the gym by 6 a.m. So, and then, you know, that's on office days. On normal days, I get to sleep till 4 a.m., which, you know, that's okay, but I'm in less of a rush as well. So I get my videos typically done around 5 in order to launch my premiere at 6:30 a.m. So I do a 6:30 a.m. premiere 6 days a week. 7. Basically 7 days a week. 6 days are YieldMax, and the 7th day is Defiance. So my week is filled up. So there is a daily video done every day. And by the way, I went back and looked at my YouTube. I started tracking YieldMax in general daily since November of 23. And I'm pretty sure I haven't skipped a video since. So it's gonna be tough for me to ever miss a video, like if I go on vacation or something. So I will do my best not to, but it's just, you know, again, I have no desire to miss a video, but you know, if I can, I can, right? But you know, I've had fun doing it. Like, this is, yes, it's work. Yeah, it's kind of work, right? You get up, if I'm forced to get up to do this, I consider it more of a part-time job because it pays, right? It pays me an income. Obviously, yes, I enjoy doing this, but you know, that doesn't mean it's not technically work, right? I'm plugging in numbers into a spreadsheet. It's not the same as my full-time job, which is obviously a lot harder. But again, it's fun. It's fun work for me, but it's something that I have to do daily. You know, it's gotten to a point where people kind of rely on it to see the trades, to see the activity on what goes on a day-to-day basis, at least on the 4 funds I cover. I know there's a whole bunch of other YouTubers that are starting to cover, you know, the various funds. You know, shout out to Happy Camper, Gen Z Investing, obviously Max Convexity. He covers Defiance. He covers some YieldMax too. But yeah, there's, you know, there's going to be more and more YouTubers that will come out that decide to cover the trades, you know, day in and day out. And of course, I welcome it too. You know, I'm more than happy. I'm sure you guys have seen. I'm more than happy to help smaller channels grow. If they're good people and they're working hard, and you know, even though, you know, some may consider them competition, I don't. You know, I think there's enough room for all of us. But if they're working hard, I'm more than happy to share their channel, you know, as a post on YouTube or something, or you know, or verbally on my channel. And if it helps them, great. Sometimes it could help them, sometimes it won't. But I know how hard it is just starting off, and you know, even getting just one shout out may be a little energizing to them, make them get excited that, okay, maybe I just got 10 subscribers today, or 20 more subscribers, and you know, it's motivating. I know it would have been for me. You know, obviously I didn't get any shout outs way back when, but you know, I get shout outs more frequently now, but there's more people watching my channel. But when I was tiny, like, you know, 100 subs, I didn't get any shout outs, nor did I deserve it, to be honest. So but again, the reason I do shout outs is because I am also rooting for smaller channels to have success. You know, again, this YouTube space, I think we need more and more real people, real honest people who are just good people, you know, that want to bring, you know, honesty to the space, who are like family men, who are, you know, workers, who are people who came from nothing, you know, versus someone who's already rich with 1 million subscribers, and you know, they think their shit don't stink, and they have, you know, all they do is show us their vacations and their cars and their big houses. No. But anyway, so what the heck are we talking about? So YouTube is going well. Again, I have to thank YouTube in general. Like, it's a blessing. You know, it's been a blessing to me and my family. Thank you to YouTube, my wife is able to stay home, you know, with the children and take care of them. You know, before we were both working full time, and it was getting to the point where, we're both getting home from work. This one, no, you got to pick them up. No, I can't pick them up. You got to pick them. You know, it's just, and then we're ripping her hair out. But I'm sure you guys know how it goes, most of you. But yeah, so thankfully, you know, YouTube hasn't replaced my wife's income, but it's just enough that it can supplement, you know, based on taking away daycare, gas, tolls, all that stuff that comes with going to work, you know, paying her for lunch every day. All of that is gone now, right? The cooking, she can cook for dinner because she's home, things like that. You know, we get takeout all the time. So we saved a whole bunch of expenses. So those expenses, savings, you know, plus the daycare savings, plus YouTube income, you know, is basically kind of an offset to her old salary. So now she's able to stay home with the children. So I'm very grateful for YouTube. I know I hear a lot of YouTubers saying that people are saying they're only in this for the money. Well, I mean, most YouTubers, you know, the thought is when they start the channel that, well, not all, but most probably think that it could replace their full-time income, right? So of course they do it for money, right? So, you know, some do it more for money, mainly like the ones you see, all right, sign up for my Patreon, you know, and they have like 100 subscribers or something like that, or 1,000 subscribers. You know, they're selling you Patreon, or they're selling you e-guide, or they're selling you like, whatchamacallit, courses. I don't know. There's so many ways to make money nowadays in this space that it's crazy. But you're going to get an idea of the people who are just more so money hungry. Granted, they're probably relying on it, right? They're probably, like, if they're retired off YouTube, then they are probably relying on that type of money, like membership money, Discord. You know, people pay to join Discords, things like that. But, you know, none of that, you know, was ever my intent, nor is it now. But again, the YouTube, yes, I'm doing it, you know, because I can make money, enough money for my wife to stay home with my kids. So yes, I'm doing YouTube for money. I am not ashamed to say that, not at all. So I'm sure you know, the people that watch, you know, they still get to watch my content for free. At least they're not the ones paying for it, right? They pay in different ways. They suffer through the commercials, unless they have premium, and then they pay YouTube for the premium. And obviously, I'm not sure how that works, and you know, me as far as hours. But I know you get something for the people that have premium that watch it. But yeah, I do YouTube for money, right? Because it takes a decent amount of my time, right? Because I have to do work right when I'm done with my full-time job and in the early morning when I wake up, on a day-to-day basis, daily basis. It's not, you know, these numbers. A lot of what I do is manual, and you know, because some of it can't be automated, and some of it I don't want automated because I won't get the same effect. If I plug in each number, I feel it, right? I know, okay, this is what happened, really? And then I double check it and things like that. If I just plug in formulas via the automation, sometimes it's not the same. Like if I do that and I just talk about it the next day, sometimes I'll be like, oh, this happened. And I'm not as close to it, if that makes sense. So that's why I still keep it manual, which again, that could be, again, my own fault in a way, but I find it makes it better for me when I generate my content. Because when I plug in the numbers one by one by one, there's an emotion, and that emotion is what I bring out in my videos. Even though it's the following morning, but you know, I make sure to pass that along to you guys and how exactly I feel, whether you like it or not. So again, that's kind of how it goes. But anyway, I just wanted to share that YouTube's going great. I'm having a blast. My channel's growing. You guys that watch my channel, especially like these videos, thank you very much, seriously, for watching, especially this. Like, who wants to look at my face driving? But a lot of people, you know, sometimes they don't get to hear me bullshit, right, and talk about whatever. because I'm too busy just talking about numbers and spreadsheets. So I think a lot of people appreciate just hearing, like, you know, my thoughts on certain things. So again, thank you. But yeah, so the future of my channel, the immediate future is nothing new, right? I'm just gonna do what I do, cover the funds. I'm probably gonna do some more interviews. Some people are reaching out to me to interview their fund manager, but you know, to be honest, I'm not gonna interview a fund manager that I don't invest in their fund, right? I don't know. Maybe that's a little ridiculous to do it, think it that way, but that's how I feel. Like, if I don't believe in the fund, then why do I want to interview them? Because I'm interviewing them obviously for you guys, but I'm also interviewing them for myself. So if I'm not interested in their fund, it'll come out in the interview. If I'm, you know, although I guess there could be some funds that interest me that I'm not invested in, but if there's, you know, sometimes there's funds that, like, nah, and I'm not going to say names or whatnot, but I'm only going to interview, you know, fund managers that interest me. So far, that's only been Jay and Sylvia. And by the way, Jay's coming back on Monday. Yeah, this Monday at 5 p.m., assuming nothing changes in my schedule. It's going to be a live community interview. I have no questions planted, so I rely on the community to come join. I will present the question on the screen, and Jay will answer it, or I'll answer it if I can, if you guys want me to, which I'm sure you don't. But and then obviously, if I feel a follow-up is necessary, I'll jump in at that point. But it's more so a community interview versus ROD interview, because I interviewed him to death, right? He's probably sick of hearing from me and my questions, and I pretty much have every question answered, right? I want you guys to come up with new questions, so I rely on you guys for that. So hopefully you guys can make it this Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I know that's bedtime for some of you guys, but you know, I appreciate it if you guys could make it, especially the tools. You know, I do need some tools during that time to keep things clean. Although, you know, most people, most commenters are pretty good. You know, I've never, you know, no one's really out of hand. So I haven't had, you know, tools haven't had to jump in yet, I don't think. Maybe they have, I don't know. Not that I noticed. So yeah, and then I'm gonna interview Sylvia. I don't have a date yet, but it's gonna happen soon. I don't know. Well, more to come on that. I mean, outside of those two, I don't know. I gotta see. You know, if you guys have a preference, like if there's a fund manager or someone you want me to interview, I don't know. YouTubers? Do you want me to interview other YouTubers? It's not really my thing, but I never really thought about it either. And I'm wondering, like, if two YouTubers have an interview each other, can they both go live on their own YouTube channels? I think that would be cool, because it would help both channels too, right? So maybe that's a thought. But again, I don't really have the kind of time or privacy to do interviews, because when I'm not working, my whole house is filled with people, and my kids are always trying to get in my office, and you know, they're wondering what's going on, or they want to be on the camera, I'm sure. It's just, they're at that age, man. I got a 2-year-old who don't listen to crap, and an 8-year-old he's gonna be curious as hell. He still doesn't know I have a YouTube. I guess I gotta tell him soon. The problem is he wants a YouTube too, which, you know, I'm not necessarily against. Now that I'm a YouTuber, I don't consider myself a YouTuber, but I guess I am. But at least I have an idea of how it works and whatnot. And, you know, as long as he does it for something that's useful and he can make money, I'm not really against it. You know, you got to be careful out there nowadays. And you got to watch things closely. So yeah, the future of my YouTube is just what I'm doing now, right? I don't think it's ever going to replace my full-time income. I could be wrong, but I think it's possible. that between YouTube and my dividend income, that my full-time income could be replaced sooner than I would think. Because again, I'm thinking like 2030, I'll make enough dividend income to replace, maybe my job, and maybe I'll have the option to retire, which again, to me, I want the option to retire. I don't necessarily want to stop working. I just want to make enough money that I can say, you know what, I'm just going to work part-time. Or you know what, I'm going to get a lesser paying job that's easier, that's less stressful, less even, just something like that. So that's something I'm kind of striving for. Because, I don't want to not work. Obviously, if I work part-time, I can make more time for YouTube and, make content. Like, one thing I always wanted to do is my daily videos live every single morning. Like, that's a goal of mine. Not anytime soon, but like, I just, whenever I can, I'll do it now, but I always think that would be cool. And then, kind of open it up for discussion. Like, I'll cover one fund, and then I'll open it up for discussion. And then I'll cover the other fund, open it up for discussion. Like a brief Q&A. Like something, I don't know, it's just a thought I had. And then I always have a thought of, doing like a market open and a market close. But obviously, as long as I'm working, I can't do that. Because that's prime time work hours there. And that's the problem with the stock market, man. It's only open when you're working. So that kind of, puts the everyday man behind the 8 ball, right? How are they supposed to learn? How are they supposed to invest when they're working all day? Especially imagine you're on a roof that whole time. Like, how are you gonna go on your phone on Robinhood and buy something? Yeah, okay. So, those are the people I want to help. Those are the people I want to teach. The people who don't have the time. So maybe they listen to me, either on the way to work or either while they're working. And if you are one of those people, please let me know, because that's awesome. Because I know everyone's busy as hell, and they just want to learn. And that being said, like, I'm always up for for feedback on what you guys do want to learn. Like, what do you want to hear? Especially on the commute videos. I never know what I'm talking about in the commute videos. I just hit record and I'm like, what am I doing? Right? Because, I don't know, there's just never, I don't plan it out. Because you can't plan it out, really. It's just because every time you get in the car, you forget everything. So that's really, the update for YouTube, past, present, and future. We'll see where it takes me. Something like, there's things I could do to, I'm sure, make it a little more popular. But for right now, whatever I'm doing, I'm sticking to it. I'm not gonna, I can't really do any more unless I disrupt my lifestyle. Like, I do just enough. Like, covering the 4 funds. I don't know if you guys remember, but when I covered 1 fund, I was like, that's it. And I said 2, and I was like, that's it. And then when I said 3, I'm like, there's no way. And then I added NVIDIA. But for real, guys, this is it. Like, 4 funds, I'm at maximum capacity. So unfortunately, no, I cannot cover any other funds, and I am sorry. But if there ever comes a time where there's not interest, because I cover the 4 biggest funds, like the 4 most popular funds. So why would I cut one of these to do a lesser popular fund, right? I know there's funds that perform, or are more stable, right? Like AMZ, MSFO, Phoebe, like those funds, steady eddies, right? They're doing fine. But are you really concerned about those? I'm not, right? I invest in AMZ and Phoebe, and I'm never concerned. So I don't need to see their trades. But if I was invested in Misty, which I'm not, but if I was invested in Misty, I would definitely want to see what's going on. That one is super volatile. So I think that's why people watch my channel, because they love Misty, they love Coney, They still love Tesla. I gotta love it, man. These people, they're hardcore Tesla fans. They've been through it all. So props to you guys. And then, of course, there's the GOAT, NVIDIA. I know some people may not agree with me, but NVIDIA is the GOAT. I'm sorry. It's the GOAT. It's the best. And it's not the best because I invest in it, but it's the best because it's just been doing really, really good. I mean, Misty's right behind them, but it's good to have them. They're both doing very well. Tesla, they have had a rough patch, and this week it's not good. They are just, again, now that I understand these funds, my bitching has kind of toned down because I get it. I get why they go tighten the strike price and all this and that. Like, I had to hear it like 3 times to finally be like, okay, it makes sense. They do what they do, but like weeks like this, man, it's just not worth it. Like, that's why I trade TSLL on my own. I do options on Tesla on my own, and it's been working out very well. Fortunately now, it's like Tesla's going up way too much, and of course, it's when I'm about to start my new wheel. So selling puts is not really a smart strategy when the stock is up 10%, like 2 days in a row almost. It's also not good when Tesla's strike prices were 4% out of the money for the week. So I'm waiting for Tesla to have a little correction. Hasn't happened yet. Maybe tomorrow, but we'll see. I don't know. I haven't looked at the trades for Tesla. I'm wondering if they roll their synthetic. Obviously, if they close, one thing that YieldMax, very predictable, if they get hammered on the weeklies and they close them out, they're going to most likely roll their synthetic, assuming there's a profit there to be had. Because in most cases, that profit will more than offset the loss, and in fact, bring a nice little income that, kind of gives a little fresh restart, right? Again, I'm sure they don't want to do that unless they have to, but, it's a good tool to have, in the back pocket. But I always say, like, I want to win the weeklies, right? I always want to win the weeklies. So it becomes a battle of, is it more important to get the yield, or is it more important to win the weeklies? So if they do decide to go further out of the money, are you okay with a 25% yield on Tesla? Most people would probably say no. So, and that's the thing. So they have to do what they have to do. And it does make it interesting. So, and it kind of opens the door for other funds, or even YieldMax, to offer different types of funds that offer different things. But right now, man, these funds, all of them have just such a good strategy, different strategies, and it's just amazing that it's a hell of a time to be an investor. Especially an income investor. Like, if you're someone that's retiring now, oh man, and you're learning about these funds, because you were probably set with like, oh my God, I'm only going to get the 4% roll, 4% of my income. But imagine getting 20% of your income, and essentially your capital is untouched. Like, that's insane. Imagine 40% of your income with a slight decrease in capital. Again, insane. So I don't know. It's just a great time. It's a great time to be a YouTuber too. I'm sure it's always a great time to be a YouTuber if you're, having success. If you're not growing, it sucks. Believe me, I get it. And I'm sure I'm going to plateau at some point. It'll happen. But as long as these funds keep coming out, like Granite Shares is coming out, they're going to do something similar to YieldMax, but except on double leverage or triple leverage funds. Like, I can't wait. That's going to be risky as hell, but it's going to be awesome at the same time. So, and it's going to motivate YieldMax. It's going to motivate Defiance. It's going to motivate Roundhill and all these other funds to get more in the game, to offer different options. So it's just going to be a gigantic competitive pool of funds. Of course, I'm on, like the last road of my commute, single lane, and what happens almost every time? I get stuck behind someone driving slow as hell. But whatever, more time to yap, right? More time for you guys. But I have to kind of cut this to an end anyway. But I just wanted to say thank you all for watching my channel. You've been a huge part of my, YouTube success. And I do greatly appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. I know there's a lot of you, I can't list names, but there's a lot of you that almost comment on every video. And again, it's awesome. So thank you very much. And then obviously if you click like, that goes a long way as well. It does help the channel. So again, as long as you guys enjoy it, I'll keep at it. All right, we'll keep going. We're a team now. And by the way, please note, if you're joining my Discord, if you're in my Discord, I will never direct message you, okay? Never. If I message you, it's in the chat. I will tag you, and it'll be in the chat in front of everyone. So if you get a direct message from someone that looks like me, it is not me. It is a scammer that is trying to sell you something, pretending to be me. So please block, report, delete if that happens, all right? And that's important for you guys to know that. But yeah, the Discord link is on my YouTube channel under the links section, so feel free to join if you would like, and come by and say hi. We have many different channels that cover many different topics, and it's a good time. A lot of fights, a lot of love, a lot of crazy stuff going on, but it's like I said, it's always active. You'll find something to talk about. And as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun on this commute home. Hopefully you're entertained. Hopefully if you're commuting, you're almost home. And then you go home, maybe have a glass of wine, sit on the couch, not be disrupted. That's my dream. Soon enough. But I gotta get home and start my spreadsheets, of course. But yeah. Like I said, if you guys enjoy this content, please always remember, if you don't mind, hit the like button. If you have any questions, concerns, or want to just leave general feedback, please leave them in the comments below. Yes, I read every single comment, whether good, whether bad. So please leave it down below. And again, thank you for watching the commute videos. If you made it this far in the commute video, I got to do a keyword, because this is what? How long is this? 37 minutes. Good Lord. Let's see. All right, I got a good one. Today's keyword is the broke investor, right? That's my old YouTube name. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, all you have to do is type in the comments, the broke investor, because since that was my original, YouTube name, original Instagram name, until I changed everything over to retire on dividends. So I'll look out for that. All right, thank you all, and I will talk to you